In this edition of Down to Earth, we would focus on some of the important aspects, and that is predominantly the rural connectivity. As we have seen, the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is one of the important ideas, and rural roads are a state subject. So the development under that to connect the rural population, which is mainly cultivators, laborers, artisans and small services, is important. There are various schemes, and under the 5 pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant economy, it's infrastructure, economy, system, democracy and demand. So how do we focus on rural connectivity? What's the need? We need for there is a need for marketing, empowering the people, employment, medical facilities and managing the supply chain. Now the roads fall under national, state, district and rural roads. There have been green technologies which are now used. Minimum 15% of the road length should be with the new technology to make the environment more safe, increase the lifespan of the road and ensure the safety of the road. Using the roller compacted concrete pavement is important. Cement stabilization, use of terrazymine and cold mix technology is important. Then we have e-maintenance. For this, e-mark is one of the applications. Now this is a GIS based e-governance solution which talks about all types of circumstances involving the performance based evaluation of the roads. Now, when we are focusing on maintaining the roads, there are various issues. For example, funding, unpredictability of the funding, the maintenance, the quality, the layers of contract under which it is being given, the performance, the quality maintenance. The state should commit to maintain the road for 5 years after the project starts, and then links from the Finance Commission for grants and aids are important. The roads would also act as a rural health service connecting platform, because rural healthcare is spanning somewhere around at 29.8 lakh square kilometers across 6.38 lakh villages. So we need to have the PHCs, the CHCs, the sub-centers that operate. National Health Mission, Health Policy and Ayushman Bharat are important. And then the National Rural Health Mission focuses on providing a good public health infrastructure for the people in the rural areas. Some of the states which have been included as part of National Rural Health Mission have been given here. So these are important. You can have those in the handout. Now the expenditure on the health is set to increase from 0.9% of the GDP to 2 to 3%. The core strategies under the National Rural Health Mission include having a health plan for each village, the role of Panchayati Raj institutions, proper drinking water, sanitation and hygiene facilities, curative care to be provided at hospitals, and promoting a healthy lifestyle and adoption of preventive healthcare facilities. So to strengthen the rural healthcare services, there is increased education, revitalizing the trust of the communities in primary healthcare centers, accommodation and supportive ecosystem, good determinants of social criterias, prioritizing the primary health and using technology to have this. For internet, we have the BharatNet project. The rural tele-density increased from 44% to 59%. Under the Network Readiness Index 2021, India jumped to 67 ranks from 88 rank, which is again a significant development. So optic fiber connectivity is again important. Then we have various PPP models which actually bring down the tariffs, bring in good quality, and there is innovative technology by the private sector providers which can be done. It also provides access to all online services. There is also mobile and internet services which is extremely good in some of the areas, but the areas affected by extremists have been significantly under problem. We have seen connectivity even in Andaman and Nicobar through the submarine optic fiber cable. 4G mobile connectivity has reached nearly 500 villages. There is a comprehensive telecom development plan for mobile connectivity in the northeast as well. Also, there are new mobile towers in the regions of Lakshadweep. Mobile connectivity has reached the regions of Andaman Nicobar. Again, this has worked in proportion with the public-private partnership. There are regular funds which have been released, and even the difficult terrains, the regions affected by extremists have been provided with the right facilities. But still there are various overcoming hurdles which are seen. So various phases have seen poor implementation, lack of actually execution, and despite the fact that the progress is there, the services are not made ready under the BharatNet projects. Even very few regions have it. Very few have got Wi-Fi hotspots and FTTH connections. Then we have PM-WANI. This is the public Wi-Fi network, Wi-Fi access network interface as it is called as. So it is specifically in the rural area. This service is useful where the public Wi-Fi hotspots are created under the BharatNet approach. So to bridge the rural-urban divide, this BharatNet approach is definitely a great deal or a great path. The next is the rural youth. Now for rural youth, there have been various programs. For example, India, if we talk about the general introduction, entrepreneurship in India is a good future. We have third largest startup ecosystems in the world with more than 50,000 startups and 10,000 startups which have come during the pandemic itself. So there are 450 agricultural startups which are registered. The National Youth Policy defines 15 to 29 years as the age group for youth. However, in 2017, we defined it as 15 to 34. So the age gap was increased, and there are 40 sectors across which this works. So some of the schemes like are the MGNREGS scheme, which is a demand driven wage employment program by the government, which talks about minimum guaranteed income to every household with guaranteed duration of 100 days of work. The Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana talks about the relaxations which is given to women, to minorities, and to change the livelihood of the people. Skill development programs are being initiated. The next is captive employer. So captive employer is one of the initiatives which is done under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana. Then there are various areas for skill training, for example, mushroom plantation, bee cultivation, and so on. Another important scheme is rural self-employment and training institutions. They have set up one institution in each district across India, and they aim to provide micro-entrepreneur concepts and regular jobs for people. So various organizations have linked to these, and these are sponsored by nearly 23 leading banks in India. Some of the training courses are exclusively meant only for women candidates, and these could be, for example, making papad, pickle, masala, and so on. So there are various batches which are part of it. The next is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra. As the name suggests, it is skill building. So state-of-art training centers have been established. Another one is Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0, which was released in January 2021 in virtual mode. The idea was to have better responsibility and increased role of the people. DigiSaksham is another scheme which focuses on job market, and the initiative to equip more than 3 lakh youth in the various technical skills, data analytics, program driven knowledge, and related aspects. Then we have Khelo India scheme, which is mainly for inculcating sports among the youth as one of the important aspects. Coming on to digital technologies, there are various digital technologies for health, education, politics, and economic aspect. Direct benefit transfer is one of the schemes where the benefit is directly going into the hands of the people. It is not going in with the intermediaries. So the beneficiary bank actually gets direct credit which are linked directly through the Aadhaar card. There are various 310 schemes from different ministries which are providing such kind of DBT assistance. And this eliminates any fake beneficiaries, any intermediaries. It is more transparent and more accountable, and focuses on maximum governance and minimum government as one of the major focuses. Then besides this, there are some schemes like Anganwadi Honorarium, Anganwadi Worker, Anganwadi Helper, who get around 4,500 per month. There is supplementary nutrition program where the pregnant females, lactating mothers, and out of school adolescent girls who are not in school get the required food. So the problem of stunting, wasting, undernutrition, malnutrition is addressed. There is another scheme for adolescent girls, and this is mainly for focusing on the iron levels, the micronutrient, and the nutritional status. National Crèche scheme, which is through the Ministry of Women and Child Development, and this is the daycare facility for children from the age group of 6 months to 6 years for working females. Another is Integrated Child Protection scheme. Now this actually protects the children who are from disadvantaged background or vulnerable children through various collaborations of government and civil societies. Swadhar Grey is in every district where 30 women meet who are women in distress and are without any kind of support for housing, clothing, medical treatment and so on. So these Swadhar Greh are located in large cities which have a district or other districts which have a population of 40 lakh people or more. The next is, the idea is to make them emotionally strengthened, to help them have financial independence and give them opportunity to bring in a new life of dignity and conviction. Ujjwala scheme, which focuses on preventing the trafficking of women and children for any kind of exploitation, and any victims should be given counseling, legal support and help. Leveraging the digitalization in achieving gender equality is another idea. So various barriers have to be reduced, and government's effort to safeguard and promote women rights is again important. The next is transforming the rural connectivity. Now through the roads, phones, internet, social media, the idea is to bring in better rural connectivity, rural infrastructure, development of capital, internet connections, rural population, providing them equal opportunity is important. Gram Marg is another important initiative which focuses on rural connectivity, empowering the rural India to come close to internet connectivity and get themselves linked to the internet support systems. There are various practices which are carried out. For example, in Gopalpara, Assam, Dantewada, Chhattisgarh, West Singhbhum in Jharkhand, Ranchi in Jharkhand. The next is the Mudra scheme. Now this is the scheme for providing loans and job opportunities through those who focus on creating a small and micro entrepreneurship or startups. So they can have collateral free credits up to rupees 10 lakh which can be given. There are various tax breaks, corporate social responsibility and crowdfunding for specific sections which are released. Now the national highway and the socio-economic impacts. We have seen that highway have a significant impact on changing the life of the people. The direct impact definitely includes that the connectivity becomes good, there is reduction in the cost for the provisions. This has brought up good change for agriculture, education, health facilities. Now the Asian Institute of Transport Development report says that there has been 85% increase in the female labor workforce participation and 50% increase in school enrollment, threefold increase in the income from non-agricultural activities due to improved access and improved connectivity. We are also seeing that the current status of the economy is changing significantly. Every rupee spent as capital expenditure creates 2.45 rupee income in the economy. So investing more in the capital expenditure is a good way. Gati Shakti program is one of the physical infrastructure programs which aims to build in the rail, road, port, airport, waterways and logistic infrastructures. Extending the road construction per day is important. Bharatmala program is another important program which focuses on infrastructure, development of national highways. Now this focuses on how expressways, economic corridors can be built, better railway connectivity. Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative talks about electric locomotive production which has increased in India from 250 to 700, smart coaches to be built with air conditions, new trains to be released, Bharat Express, Vande Bharat Express, Vistadome coaches to be released, Tejas trains, digitization through Wi-Fi facilities, IP-based CCTV surveillance, overhead equipment inspections for detection of any technical faults, if any. Station infrastructure to be redeveloped for safety, comfort, value addition. Green fuels. Now 100% electrification of railway lines by December 23, reducing the carbon emission levels. Indian Railways to become the first major railways in the world to have fully electrified broad gauge network of such a huge size. And head-on generation system is another important technology which is environmental friendly for supplying power to the passenger coach. The next is Kisan Rail have been built, and this provides provides connectivity to the rural areas. One station, one product is another important aspect. Connecting the northeast and the mining centers of India, Mission Hungry for Cargo initiative is to target 45% shares in freight transport from the current 27%. Products like coal, iron, bauxite are now being transported through competitive prices. So here are some of the graphs which actually talk about the trends in the passenger traffic, the traffic, how it has changed over the years, and the revenue which is generated against it. Then the valuation of the projects that are completed so far in trillions have been given. So those are some of the key highlights that we have discussed. The sole idea of this lecture was predominantly focusing on rural connectivity, how rural connectivity can be enhanced, and the better opportunities for an individual from a rural area to come to urban area. The various schemes like MGNREGA, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra, the DigiSaksham, Khelo India schemes are some of the important ones. Now these are important part of your answer writing, specifically in your mains. So have a good command on these concepts, and the handouts for the same would be available at Examrace current affairs section. So don't miss to watch those. Wish you very good luck for your upcoming examination, and thanks a lot for joining in.